Hello everyone, welcome to your Q&A ahead of game week 33. We had a bit of last minute panic. I messaged Gianni earlier to see if he wanted to do this. He said he would. He didn't turn up until, 5 to 12, but you made it. You said you were reliable. Here you are.
Yeah, we said a few days ago I'd be there at midday, and I was here at midday. I've been out without my phone all morning, sure, washing my car, walking the dogs, but here I am.
I gave up, to be honest. When it got to 10 to, I was like, there's no way. So I changed the thumbnail to one of just me, and I was like, I'll just go it solo. It'll be fine. And then you showed up. I should have doubted you, Gianni. I'm sorry. Sorry for doubting you. Hi everyone. Get your super chats in. Just an update on super chats. I took on your feedback last week. And Gianni had a great idea that genuinely the super chat was never about the money, earning money from people. It was purely to give some talking points for the stream. So all the super chat money is going to go to charity. It's going to go to Gianni's charity, who you work for, called Street Child United. So yeah, any money that you put into the super chat will go straight to them. You don't have to put a lot in. You can put as much or as little as you can afford to give. Not about the money, just purely it is flashes up really big and blue on my screen. It's easier to do Q&As when there's super chats coming in. So yeah, get those in. We look forward to it. Mark's in the chat. That tells me that Mark is panicking this week. He wants some advice from us. I'm guessing
he's not the only one.
I've actually got my team. I also want some advice. It's a Q&A. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be us giving the advice. I'm also happy for the chat to give me some advice as well. So I'll be showing my team in a bit, and you can help me, because I have literally no idea what I'm doing. Absolutely no idea what I'm doing anymore. Lacazette's out, potentially. Roberts might be back in now. Dyche has been sacked, which is weird. Bench boost back on. I don't know. Coutinho went down again in price. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing at the moment, Gianni. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I'm similar. Like my free hit, I was fairly okay with, and I'm all week my free hit has had no Salah. And the more and more I look at it, I just go, do I need to try and get Salah in? But I don't think I'm willing to drop Kane. And I want double Spurs in there. So at the moment, I've got Kane and Son as two of my three single game week players. I could swap Salah for Kane, but I don't know. I'm still, and I had Cornet. I put Cornet in last night. Do I want a Burnley player off the back of that announcement today with Sean Dyche? I'm not sure.
Can you believe he's been sacked?
Madness. I mean, look, if you're going to get rid of him on Sunday or Monday. Give the new manager 6 days, 5 days, 4 days on the training ground. The day before a game, madness. I mean, madness anyway. But yeah, there's obviously been a bust up. Who comes in? Is it Big Sam to do one of his Big Sam specials and keep a team up?
Surely not.
A bit late for that now.
Ben Mee's in charge, isn't he? And Michael Jackson. I think his name is Mike Jackson, the assistant. God, it's crazy. Do you reckon good news for Weghorst owners?
Yes, because I think Weghorst was on the brink of probably only starting one of two, and now I think you'd think the money they've spent on him, his salary, new manager will build the team around him. I think he probably starts both now.
God, but you're gonna have to hold. I mean, literally, I've got Roberts, and I saw he was sacked. My first thought was, oh no. Dyche has been sad. That's terrible. He's been so good. And then literally my second thought straight away was, oh, Roberts, why get back in the team now? Fantasy football does weird things to you, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a strange one. Right, super chats are coming in. Mark's super chatted in. Amazing. Serious question from Mark. If you've come this far on Weghorst, surely you show faith and hope for a positive Burnley reaction. Mark is desperate for Weghorst to deliver. I just can't. I mean, you're right. It might mean that he gets 2 starts now, but I don't think he's suddenly learned how to play football, Burnley.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they've had so long in the old regime of a certain style. So you think it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to a new style, perhaps. But look, Weghorst, I mean, I sold him ahead of the Norwich fixture in my normal FPL team. That's how much I'd seen from him to go, he's an obvious sell. But I'm with Mark in the respect, if you've come this far, they have a double game week. The only thing I'd consider is Weghorst to Wood. I do like that Newcastle double. If you've got the transfers to use, I like that. But if you don't, then I'd just stick with it. I do think he starts both games now.
Yeah, I'd keep him. I think it's a decent double as well. West Ham and Southampton. West Ham amazing performance last night, like literally incredible. What congratulations to them. Well done to all their fans. There's surely some fans listening to this. I watched it, absolutely ridiculous. Such a good performance. Rode there like a little bit in the early stages, but I tell you, they were absolutely superb. So yeah, fair play to them. I think Weghorst is all right this week. I think he's definitely it's got to improve his chances, surely, because they couldn't work out how to play him under Deichball, and now they're going to unlock him. Weghorst unlocked, is that a thing? Surely
possibly
not.
I mean, look, if we take anything from Weghorst, we know his record in other leagues, 1 and 2 in Germany and in Holland. But when he first came to Burnley, and we're only talking about 6 weeks ago, he did hit the ground running. That performance at Old Trafford in one of his first games, he was really, really good. And I just look at it and think, okay, maybe that was Weghorst playing how Weghorst wants to play. And then after a few weeks, it was kind of Dyche, this is how you have to do it. And it didn't suit him. So now we might go back to the play how you want to play, naturally how you play, which is the good performances we saw at Old Trafford. So yeah, you're probably right.
He can't be any worse, can he?
No, really can't. Really can't. I mean, the XGI stats I've seen posted, and he's just anonymous. He's been anonymous.
Mark's got double Burnley. He's got Pope as well, so he's really hoping for a new manager bounce. I want it to happen, to be honest. All the people that have stuck by Weghorst for this long, I kind of want them to get something out of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, amazing! I love FPL so much for stupid things like this. Like all this talk of, like, you know, Burnley and Dyche being sacked and all this, and all we care about is whether Roberts is going to get his place back and if Weghorst is going to finally score a goal, score some points. Amazing. Nick Giordano says, is Willock to Kulusevski a good move this week? Shame about Willock if you're having to move Willock out. I don't know.
He's had a few knocks, hasn't he? And I think maybe when he came back, he wasn't ready. I think you probably do lose Willock. I'd wait and see. I don't know if we've seen that press conference yet. I've not caught up on all the press conference news so far, but I'd be looking at training photos as well. But I'd be wary over the 2 games there. I'd also question Bruno came in and played that advanced Willock role in the midfield 3 and looked really good. Almiron can come in and play a similar role. I'd probably be selling.
Sorry, we have got team news about Willock. Eddie Howe says he hopes to have Joe Willock available.
Doesn't sound guaranteed 2 starts though, does it?
Hopes to have him available. I think it's a shame to sell a player who's got a decent looking double like Willock, when there's not really too many decent attacking options for Newcastle. If he plays, he probably is the best one because Fraser's out. Would I sell him for? I mean, Kulusevski is a great pick, isn't he? You can't deny that
he really is.
He's a solid option. It would be a shame if you sold Willock and he did play, but realistically, if he's been out for a little bit now, he hopes to have him back. He probably only plays 1 anyway. Yeah, I think I'd probably do it. I'd probably sell him.
They look so good last time out. I don't see any need to change that 11.
No, exactly. Yeah, good point.
So maybe he comes in for game 2. Also, the only thing I'd say about Kulu, as much as I love him, if you've already got 2 Spurs assets and in one of them isn't Son and you're bringing Kulu in to make it 3 Spurs assets, just question if you can see yourself going between now and the end of the season without a Son or a Kane or whoever you may not have. Because I do think at some point, if we can squeeze both in, we're going to be trying to. So that'd be my only reason not to go Kulu, because then it will limit you going to Son or Kane, ideally Son for the next few.
Yep, agreed. We've got a super chat from Dave Lister. I love when Dave Lister puts in a super chat. It's just a picture of Red Dwarf Dave Lister. It's great.
Nice.
Always makes me smile. Here's a question for you. Who is the best captain for Game Week 33? I can bring up my cheat sheet.
United. If the only one I'd consider outside of Bruno or Ronaldo would be Chris Wood, but I would go United. And I don't know the answer to Bruno versus Ronaldo. I'll probably have both on my free hit, and I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah. My cheat sheet, which is basically formulated from an XGI score, so basically it's the top 20 players for their XGI, and then a fixture score as well, so just the difficulty of the fixtures. This is looking at the double game week players, so the higher the score, basically, the better the fixture and the better the XGI. Wow. Top of the list is Cornet, the guy you were thinking of.
My boy.
Your boy. Yeah, he's
back in.
He's got the 6th best XGI of all the double game week players. And he's got the best fixtures. I mean, Burnley's fixtures are the best. Against West Ham, Southampton have been so poor, kind of defensively. So Cornet, if you're looking for a punt, he is, according to my cheat sheet, he's the best. But then it's your 2 United boys, right? Then it's Ronaldo, and then it's Fernandes. So to me, I mean, actually, Ronaldo's joined with Cornet. Both on 32 and Fernandes on 31. So to me, if you're free hitting, the captain's easy. It's Ronaldo. I just think that is the obvious captain choice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not free hitting, it's really tricky because this is probably maybe a good time to bring up my team. This is my team. It's an absolute mess, right? I've got Dubravka, Trent, Robertson, Doherty, Coutinho, Salah, Saka, Barnes, Kulusevski, Kane, Lacazette, who hasn't been training. And then on the bench, Ramsdale, Roberts, Amity, and Hwang. So I have no idea what I'm doing, and I have no idea who I'm going to captain either. At the moment, my captaincy is on Saka.
You just don't have that. I'd be taking a hit for a captaincy option this week if I was you. Whether that was, even if that was a Chris Wood, you could go Lacazette to Wood. I'd rather captain Wood than Saka. Saka's reliable, but in that game against Southampton, I could see them bouncing back and it being tight. And then I don't think Arsenal score against Chelsea. So look, I mean, it's an okay option because it's Saka and he'll be highly owned and lot will go there. But Arsenal don't look like they're going to score more than 2-3 goals in this double game week, do they?
I can't captain Chris Wood. I just can't. Yeah. I mean, I'm half tempted. I've been banging on about Bruno Guimaraes for all week. I'm half tempted to bring him in and captain him.
I mean, if you can't captain Chris Wood, you can't captain Bruno. Hasn't had a goal involvement since he's been there. I don't know. Maybe he has. I don't think he's had a goal involvement. I don't know. Could you go? Is there any way you can get Coutinho and Lacazette out and bring in a Sancho, for example?
There is, but I'm looking at 34 when Chelsea might get double game week as well. And at the moment, my plan is Doherty and Coutinho to Cancelo and Guimaraes. And then wait to see on Lacazette. If Lacazette's out, I'll dump Lacazette as well. And then next week, that will give me the money to do Amity up to James. Yeah. That's the kind of the current thinking. But that still doesn't give me a captaincy option.
No, and it's easy for me to say United. That's because I'm on a free hit. And if I had a wild card in 34, I'd also be advising you guys to go United captaincy. But if you're not on a free hit and don't have a wild card in your pocket, would I be bringing a United player into my team this week just to captain them, only to want to sell them next week? I mean, they might double, but then they're going to be a sell. 2 transfers there, probably not. And you could say the same about Newcastle. Do you want them beyond this week? Well, they do have Norwich, I think, after that, and then it's a tougher run. So, yeah, maybe I'd go Newcastle as an easier transfer in. I wouldn't be ripping up my team to bring United in if I didn't have those chips.
It's tricky. I mean, I did the FPL show yesterday, just to bring it back to Dave Liss's question about captaincy. I did the FPL show yesterday, and we were talking about captaincy, and I said, honestly, if you've got Kane, if you've got Salah, you've got a decent single game week option, go for them if maybe you haven't got one of the United players. And they said, okay, who are you captaining? I was like, Saka. And they were like, what? But sometimes your advice doesn't always... Saka's, I think, has got... potentially a bigger ceiling than Kane and Son, because he's got the 2 games, because Arsenal could turn up. Chelsea have had lots of fixtures. Southampton have been awful defensively. Would I be surprised if Saka got 4 points? No. Would I be surprised if Saka got like 15? Also, no, because he's a really good player and Arsenal could show up. Whereas I think Kane and Son are safe. I think, but I'm not expecting like maximum of like 10 from them. Maybe like I don't know. Brighton's not an easy game. I don't think they'll absolutely batter us.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't. If I was looking at Spurs, it would be Son all day long over Kane. That would be my only single game week option this week for captaincy. I wouldn't even be going Salah or Kane. I think Son is a legit captaincy option as a single game weeker. But then I'd look to Newcastle or United. But Saka's not bad, is he?
No,
as an option. Maybe you just sell.
Does that help Does that help you, Dave Lister? I think it's tricky. I think the best captain option is one of the United players. I think if I'm advising people, which I am, then I think if you don't have one of those, then I think that the safest option is to go for one of Salah or Kane or Son. I think that's probably my answer to that.
Who's going to have the over 100% EO this week? Do we think anyone will? Will Salah be over 100? I'm not sure he will, because people don't like captaining against United. Not too often. I know
I think he will, just because of the lack of other options, because Ronaldo's like 0.3% owned or something. I mean, he's going to be high on free hits, I guess. How many people are going to free hit in the top 10k?
20%.
20%. Yeah, I was going to say like 15. Yeah, I think Salah will be over 100%, but only just. Yeah, would be my prediction. Anyway, that's my team. I don't know what I'm doing. Hasn't helped.
I would be very cautious, I would say, about captaining Maddison. I'm seeing a lot giving Maddison the armbands. I've done a lot of I'll eat my hat comments recently, and I've been right on all of them. I think I'm 3 from 3 on. I don't say I'll eat my hat lightly. I'm close to saying I'll eat my hat if Grealish starts, I said it last week on this stream about Saka playing left back. Didn't
You did, and I saw the team sheet. I thought, I was like, that's Saka at left back, and it was Xhaka.
You tagged me in that.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm close to saying I'll eat my hat if Maddison plays both games. Okay. Won't happen.
So, have you got a hat?
No. I don't really wear hats. I guess I do have a dog walking hat. Yeah.
It's quite a safe bet if you haven't got a hat. I'll eat my hat.
It started with the Jack Grealish rumour. It was, I'll eat my hat if Grealish is at Villa next season. And the amount I got on my timeline of Villa fans, we've got all this money, why would he leave to Man City, blah, blah, blah. So I had great fun working through all those when he moved. But even 2 weeks ago, it was will Cancelo start? And I know you and Luke were on the fence on that. And I was, I'll eat my hat if Cancelo doesn't start. So I've had a few wins. I don't say it lightly.
I don't say it lightly, just to say all the time. You don't even have
Once a week.
Once a week, yeah. FPL Borat. I'm not going to do the Borat voice again. I did it like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, okay. I'll say that one. If you was me, who would you bench? James for the likes of Weghorst or Broja, or do you think James will start against Arsenal?
I think James will be benched against Arsenal, but I'm on the fence. He definitely has to start the FA Cup semi. And I know he played 120 in Madrid, but Chelsea have got like 4 or 5 days rest before the semi-final. It's a Tuesday, Sunday. It's a nice little break still for Chelsea. Reece James should be fine for the Sunday game, but then I think it's Wednesday. So yeah, I'd be hesitant over James for Arsenal. And he'll probably come on as well.
I would play Weghorst. Amazingly, in an amazing turn of events, I would play Weghorst over Reece James.
Yeah. I think the fear with Reece James is that he does get those 1-pointers because we know he likes to be used off the bench as well. So you've got to be really confident, and I wouldn't be there. Play Veggie.
Yeah, I mean, James is amazing, but it's not a particularly great fixture, and he's got the massive risk of not playing it. So yeah. I think you roll the dice on one of the doublers, one of Weghorst or Broja, and I think out of those two, I don't know. I mean, you're Broja's biggest fanboy. Hasenhüttl's comments were interesting, weren't they, yesterday? He kind of said he's a good player, but needs to do more. Needs to get back to the levels that he was earlier in the season. You can kind of take that two ways. One way is he's going to be given the chance to try and get back up to those levels and start. But also, if he doesn't do well in the first game, I could see him being benched in the second.
Yeah, and he comes off a lot as well. Like Shea Adams will get the more minutes, and you think Adam Armstrong's there. The investment Southampton have got in Adam Armstrong is they paid a lot of money for him, and he hasn't had a huge amount of game time. Yep. Well, next season he might be their first choice option because Broja's not going to be at Saints. I mean, I think they've been linked with an offer, maybe even paying up to like 30 million for him. But there's no way Chelsea is selling Broja. He'll be back at Stamford Bridge or he'll be on a new loan deal somewhere. So Saints need to think about next year at this point. They've not got a huge amount to play for. I would be hesitant he starts both.
Yeah, so would I. Yep. Weghorst it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Golden Boy is back.
So funny. We've answered Mark's. Nick again. I've the option of bench boosting this week, but I'm worried the likes of Havertz and James won't start and then wreck the bench boost. Should I save it until 36? Bench would be similar. Oh, that's a tricky one.
Chelsea... Havertz and James, you've clearly got in 36. They'll probably be good to play, right? There won't be any Champions League involvement. So if they are two legit options that could be on a bench later in the season as well, you save your bench boost. I think both could start on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised to see one start and one benched, but I wouldn't risk it. I don't think.
Nor would I. I'm not going to say I'm going to eat my hat. I'm not going down this road. I genuinely don't think James starts. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of bench boosting with literally the worst bench ever, just because I might be free hitting in 36 or 37, and
you don't want to limit yourself.
I just want to get it out of the way. Honestly, I'm just sick of.
You do have two keepers, as the beauty of like my bench boost this season went terribly. I got like 14, 15 points. 10 of those points came from my sub goalkeeper. Exactly. Yeah. I had Ben Foster on my bench. He got 10 when they played United. So I just think because knowing you've got two keepers playing twice. That could be the majority of points anyway. And you got Ramsdale and Dubravka, haven't you? Yeah, well,
sorry. I mean, I don't want to make this all about my team. Just to go back to my team quickly, what I could do is do a bit of surgery. I could do Doherty, Coutinho, Lacazette, and Hwang, so from -8, and get in Adams, who has got good underlying numbers, and Southampton have actually been all right attacking-wise. And I think I don't want to go for Broja or Wood or any of that lot. So maybe Adams. Get in Cucho Hernandez, if he's fit, for Watford. And then Cancelo, and then and then Gomez.
A midfielder,
Yeah, and then that gives me enough money to do Roberts to James. This is mental. It's a lot of surgery, but basically, if that -8, if I get 8 points of my bench boost and that pays off that hit, my team's in much better shape going forward.
You're thinning in your squad as well. You've got Cucho and Bruno as bench fodder, which last week I did the same. I've got Gelhardt and Amity on my bench, and I'm very happy to just have one sub now.
Exactly. Yeah, and I can just get rid of that chip, not worry about it. Free hit in 36. That's but if Hernandez isn't for it, basically the point ones and point twos are kind of key for me because it's stopping me do the moves that I want to do. Anyway, going back to Nick's question, I would save it. I think I'm not sure if you've got the free hit left, Nick, because I do think 36 or 37 looks good for that, but. I think if you're bench boosted with the likes of Havertz and James on your bench, then you need to save it because I would be worried about their minutes against Arsenal, and it's not a particularly good game either.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'd hold. Joshua Tan. Hi Josh. To fund Cancelo, I have to sell Rafinha or Watkins and upgrade Doherty. Yep, selling either of those sounds pretty good. I'd only be able to get in Dewsbury Hall or Gelhardt. I already have Barnes. Yeah, I've got Barnes as well. I'm not feeling good about that. But Watkins might have a double game week. He might, but
we do know he has got a double game week coming at some point. We can't guarantee when it will be, but depending on what your plans for those game weeks, because it could fall in 37, for example. If you're already looking at a free hit 37, well, that double game week's almost irrelevant for you, and I would therefore sell Watkins. But if we think that you need him for that double because you won't be on a chip when Villa do double, then I wouldn't be wanting to sell my Villa player. So I would if it was a midfielder, because I would be telling people to sell Coutinho because I think there's so many good midfield options. But Watkins isn't eating up a valuable spot at the moment, is he? We've got 3 forward spots and only Kane to fill them.
So out of Rafinha or Watkins to sell, you'd sell Rafinha?
I think so. If I wasn't using a chip during the Villa double, yeah.
I think I agree.
And I said the other day in my team reveal, Rafinha I fancy is a bit of a dark horse for the season running. The difference is you need Cancelo, and if it's one or the other, well, you have to make it work for Cancelo.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Villa are going to have a double, so you're just purely banking on something happening in that, and Rafinha won't have a double. So
yeah, he doubles in 36, Raf, but it's a really hard double. And again, that I don't know, Josh, you might be looking to use a free hit that week anyway. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Actually, Leeds do have the double. I think I'd probably keep Raf then. Maybe
it's a tough one. It all depends what your chip strategy in 36, 37 is, because Villa are more likely to double in 37, Leeds in 36. Which one will already be in your team without the chip?
I forgot about that Leeds double. Yeah, that does make Rafinha an interesting option.
I'm planning on holding
It's just that City game, isn't it? Yeah, it's just that City game that you bench him in. Yeah. Nick again. Nick is giving loads of money to Street Charles United.
Nice, thanks, Nick.
Bench 2 of these, nice easy one. Weghorst, Rudiger, James, Havertz, Kulusevski, Robertson. I mean, we can rule a couple of those out. We can rule Kulusevski and Robertson out.
Yeah, you're playing those guys. I would start Reece James, I think, will start for Chelsea. Whether or not you decide to bench him, Nick, I'm not sure. But Reece James is one of the few players I can see. Sorry, Rudiger's one of the few players. I was going to say,
we've just been saying Reece James isn't going to play.
Rudiger's one of those players you just know can play every game. So I think he starts against Arsenal. But are you backing Arsenal to score? Maybe Chelsea will be tired. I would probably go James and Rudiger benched and give Havertz, just go for the high ceiling there that he could come on and score, or he could even start.
Yeah,
I'd be benching 2 of the Chelsea lot for sure.
It's scary benching James, but I think you have to. I think you have to bench James, and I guess you have to bench James and Rudiger.
No, I wouldn't want to bench Robbo. I couldn't bench Weghorst on a double, and Kulu with that fixture, I couldn't either.
I think, and I'd probably play Havertz. I think.
Yeah,
it'd be play the attacker.
2 of 3 Chelsea for sure.
Yeah, tricky one. I think I'd go for Rudiger and James, but I wouldn't feel particularly good about it.
No.
I wouldn't feel particularly good about benching any of them. Stephen Doherty, serious question. What are the top names on your list for your other stream, lads? Actually, just donating. What are the top names on your list for other streams? What does that mean?
I don't know. Let us know again, Stephen. What are the top names on your list? For other streams? Oh, what other streams do we recommend?
Oh, I see. There's a really good one called FPL Black Box. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's absolutely excellent. There's a fantasy football fest one, which I've heard is all right as well. But
we're actually going to do a fantasy football fest pod for the first time in a few weeks. Yeah, so fantasy football social, check them out. Check out Black Box. I would check out the FPL Wire.
FPL Wire, yep.
FPL Experiment, give them a listen.
Yep. FPL Planet as well.
FPL Planet. There's
Planet
loads.
FPL, whatever they like to be called. Yeah. I mean. Planet, he hates it when I call it FPL Planet. Planet FPL is really good and massively underrated as well. So
I'll tell you another underrated one. Above average FPL.
Yeah.
FPL above average, I think it's called.
Yeah. There's quite a few ones. I don't listen to a huge amount of other stuff, but I do occasionally dip in and out of other things. I mean, there's loads of good ones on the Scout channel as well. TED Talks is really good. Burning Questions is excellent. They got Sonaldo's got Kelly Sommers next week to agree to do it for some reason.
Amazing.
I don't know how he's managed that. I think he gave her the puppy dog eyes, and she was like, "Oh, okay." You can't say no to Sonaldo. He's too lovely.
I love that. So what? Kelly's replacing Praz for 1 week only?
No, I think she's joining them. I think it's both of them.
And cool.
Yeah,
nice. I also had Kelly on my Friday night stream on Chasing Green Arrows the other day, and she was absolutely brilliant. So she'll add loads of value to that. Yeah. So check out Chasing Green Arrows as well. We're live tonight at 7.
Yep. Nice plug, Gianni. Nice plug. Stephen Gallagher. Hey, team is De Gea and Ramsdale, Robertson, Cancelo, Livramento, the lesser spotted Livramento. Cher, Son, Salah, Kulusevski, Madison, Saka, and Broja. 6 doublers. I've got 1 free transfer. Should I free hit? There you go. That's the question. 6 doublers, 1 free transfer. Would you free hit that team?
No, I like that team.
I like that team a lot.
I wouldn't be close on free hitting that team. You've got. I know you don't have United, Stephen, but this is not the Man United of old, right? Don't get FOMO, guys. If you don't have United this week, they're not gonna absolutely kill your rank. They're not gonna kill you. They're not gonna score huge points. I don't think. Whilst I think they're the best captaincy option, I don't think they're amazing. I'd be way more excited about some of the doublers we've got yet to come.
I definitely wouldn't free hit that team. I think that team looks excellent this week.
You've even got captaincy options in Son, in Salah. If you want to go doubler, you go Saka. And you've got a free transfer as well. So I wouldn't be opposed if you can, I don't know, going Broja to Chris Wood and captain him.
You love Chris Wood, don't you? You're just all on the Chris Wood train.
Honestly, these Newcastle fixtures, I'm really pro. 2 games at St James's. Eddie Howe's got a good record at St James's. When the crowd are with you there, that's a fun place to play football. And we've not seen it fun for a long time under Mike Ashley. But I just like the fact that 2 teams they're playing are both going to be absolutely shattered.
I'm going to end up captaining Gameweek. I can just see it. I just know it. I just know I'm going to do it. And
Leicester off the back of a trip to Holland. And
stop it.
Who's the other one?
They got Palace
off the back of a semi-final against Chelsea, which could go to 120 minutes.
Oh, I'm going to captain Gameweek. Has he even got an attacking return all season? I think he might have 1 goal. Has he got 1 goal? He's 4.9. He's got 1 goal. Oh, I'm going to captain him. He's 0.4% owned. I'm going to win FPL.
Has he scored, Has he scored for Newcastle?
Yeah, he's got 1. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was awesome against Wolves. I just reckon he's a really fun player to watch, and he just won't get any points.
Yeah, he's an absolute baller. I think his stats in Lyon were quite good for a goal involvement. So
Shelvey's the deeper player. Yeah. He's definitely got license to bomb on and get forward, and he's really good. Yeah. So, well, oh God, it's gonna be a nightmare.
As I don't know, you might want to check this out, but I don't know. I feel like he took set pieces at Lyon, maybe. I don't know. But with Ryan Fraser out the team, does that make him and Target sharing set pieces maybe as well? I don't know.
Yeah, Target's taking the corners on the left. Shares on free kicks, direct free kicks.
Love that.
So yeah, I don't think he's taken any, but you never know. I mean, Cher scored, didn't he, like a couple of weeks ago? So he's probably got them for a bit. Dio Reese Withers, Amity or Fofana?
Both will start 1 game, so meh.
Yeah, Amity's cheaper, one. So Fofana is immense though, isn't he? Like he's absolutely like they've got some really good defenders. Like now they've
got some really good players.
Yeah, I mean Amity, Castagna, Pereira, Evans is class. Amity's been really good as well. I think Soyuncu's days are probably numbered. He's been
and Vestergaard, the forgotten man.
Vestergaard.
He needs
James
to be sold
Justin
this summer
as well. Is great.
He'll be getting James Justin will be in the England squad in a couple of years. Yeah. You've got Castagna's in the Belgium squad. Pereira's in the Portuguese squad. Fofana is going to be a top 4 player without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really good team. Yeah, they need to kick on next year. And this season's been a bit of a write-off, but through now to the semi-final of the whatever the league is, Conference League. I still don't really understand it, but yeah, I mean, if they win a trophy and can get a kind of a top 8-ish finish with the injuries they've had, they'll probably take that.
Yep.
Mark again in the chat. Question for Gianni because I don't trust Az. Yeah, fair enough. Is Alonso viable for double game week 34 if that drops in? So if the Chelsea United game does get rescheduled, would you go for Alonso?
God, yeah. Alonso, absolutely. I mean, look, as a Chelsea fan, I did dislike Alonso a lot as a player, but as an FPL asset, I've beelined to him a few times this year at what looked like the right times and didn't get the points. But I think he's pretty much, okay, I'm not going to use the term. I think he's very likely to be starting games. The only other option at left back is Sarr. He only plays when they're in a back 4. They're not in a back 4 too often. And even when they are, Alonso has played in a 4 and done well. He's playing all right at the moment, Alonso, and he will be sky high and you will get some attacking involvement. So, yeah, Alonso, for me, the 3 standout Chelsea players, if they double in 34, number 1 and 2 are Havertz and James, but then that 3rd spot is either Alonso or Mount or Werner. It's one of those 3. Do you go, or Rudiger if you want an extra defender, but you go Havertz, James, and then it's Alonso, Mount, Werner or Rudiger. I prefer Mount or Alonso as that 3rd spot, one of them.
Yep. He was awesome, wasn't he, Alonso, in that game?
I mean, other than Kante, every Chelsea player was. They turned it on. But even in the Premier League the week before that, we saw Alonso score against the Saints. He's even taken a lot more set pieces recently. He was on set pieces earlier in the season on corners on the left, out swingers, and then they took him off. And we saw Reece James taking some. Mount's always been on them. At the Bernabeu, yeah, he was on corners one side and Mount the other. Reece James wasn't getting a look in on set pieces. So Alonso's even got that set piece, some of those corners back.
Yep. Well, you like him. Mark will be happy. He's looking for any excuse to bring him in. So he'll enjoy that.
Oh, the ceiling's just so high, isn't it? It's just gets you right there when Alonso does well in FPL because it's just meant to be.
Yep. Taron Kurian, do you think it's worth a hit to get a double game week goalkeeper? We're already on a -4 bench boost. Debating removing Foster for one of Dubravka or Schmeichel.
Yeah, because you'll happily stay with that keeper for the rest of the season. And I don't think you want Foster as your number 1 keeper. I would go Schmeichel because there are 3 doubles. In the next 6-7 weeks, you're going to get 3 doubles out of Schmeichel. So he's the only Leicester player I can safely say I think plays both games this game week as well. I honestly couldn't call another Leicester player that I'd be confident about 2 starts.
Completely agree. I think this week, if I was free hitting, I'd go Dubravka. I think he's the keeper that I'd want purely for 33. If I was making a transfer, I'd get Schmeichel just for the sheer number of volume of fixtures. And they're going to play some fixtures with their first, 11. We don't know who it's going to be. But the Fofana and Justin and Castagna and stuff will get the odd game, and then Leicester are much better defensively. So who would you? Sorry, let me rephrase this. I'm completely all over the place with my goalkeeper for free hit. So I'm definitely going double Newcastle defence. I don't know if that's 1 defender in Dubravka or 2 defenders in Schmeichel. So I was thinking last night, I've got the money. I could go De Gea. Who would be your number 1 pick on a free hit in goal? Would it be Dubravka? Over De Gea? Yeah, definitely over De Gea. Yeah.
Save points versus Liverpool?
Yeah.
Potential bonus versus Liverpool?
Potentially getting battered 6-0 by Liverpool.
Yeah. and not even a guaranteed clean sheet against Norwich, right?
I don't trust United at all defensively. I'm seeing quite a few people going for Tellez. At least he's got a bit of attacking threat and free kicks and stuff and maybe some corners. I think that's okay, but De Gea is a step too far. I think Schmeichel and Dubravka are much better options.
I've considered De Gea, but I've not considered Tellez because against Liverpool, I see Tellez as finishing on minus points. But I feel like De Gea is very unlikely to finish on minus points because of the saves.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't get either of them. But
yeah, I've been on Schmeichel all week. I've been on Schmeichel with double Newcastle defence above him.
United will probably concede to Norwich, and then you'll be like, "Oh, that was a pointless, stupid move." Yeah, I don't know. I think Dubravka and Schmeichel are clear. I think you if you're basically you can't bank on a goalkeeper getting save points because. They don't always get it. I mean, how many saves has De Gea made lately? I mean,
it must be one of the top in the league this season for save points.
But I mean, against Everton he made 2. Against Leicester he made 2. Against Spurs, that's a game you'd expect him to make save points. He made 1.
Wow, really? Okay.
Like Man City made 6, but then they conceded 4 goals, so only got 2 points.
2 points.
So,
Yeah.
so against Liverpool, if he makes 6 saves and they concede 4 goals, which is more than likely, he gets 2 points.
Yeah.
So
plus it's 3 points versus Norwich. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd go to Brad Mark for sure. Joel Erkinen, I have the triple captain and free hit chip left. Which week would be best for the triple chip? My team is like as is. Oh, poor you, mate. Sorry to hear. Only I have Maddison and Rudiger. His team sounds better than mine then. Okay, interesting. Triple captainship left. What week would you use that? Definitely not this week.
Yeah, definitely not this week. I mean, 36 sees a lot of the big teams play twice, right? So Spurs have a really tricky double, but again, Kane scores in those big games. You could look at Man City players wherever their double falls. Chelsea players for their double. I'd be waiting for 36 on that one, for sure.
I think it could work out if West Ham are through, right? Which means the City double will be in 37. That's what you told me the other day.
That is, and then someone told me I was wrong.
Yeah, brilliant. I've been telling everyone that. Someone told me I was wrong.
Do you know who I got that from? I got that from Zoff on listening to FPL Wire, so I'm going to blame him. I just regurgitated his info.
That is definitely Zoff's fault. Yeah, we're taking that. Okay, so we don't know when the City game's going to be.
No,
it depends on the cup. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, if you've got the free hit chip and the triple captain, I think, and that City game goes in 37, you use the free hit in 36 when there's better teams with double game weeks, and then you use the triple captain on the City player in there. I mean, using a triple captain on a City player for their double, that is a massive differential.
Yeah, that could go
Foden or a De Bruyne or even Cancelo. Imagine sticking that on Cancelo. It's nice.
Yeah, and Cancelo's been nailed all season, but if ever you needed that sort of confirmation that Cancelo is going to play every Premier League game between now and the end of the season, it's that he's suspended in the first leg of the Champions League. That's brilliant. There's his little rest. Oh, and also Kyle Walker's injured. Bingo.
Yeah. Nuclear Atoms is a Real Madrid fan.
I know, I knew that, and I saw his comment. Yeah, we speak quite a lot about Real Madrid, me and Nuclear. Actually, he's look, they won, fair play. Benzema was brilliant. I'm a big XG fan, Nuclear, and when you look at the XG over 2 legs, Chelsea had double the XG of Real Madrid. Now, look, I'd rather the win than the XG, sure, but let's not pretend that they blew Chelsea away or anything. Like they scraped through by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, that's why they're not getting praised that much, because they scraped through and they should have gone through comfortably. They were in complete control after that first leg, and Chelsea were brilliant. Yeah, I thought it was a great game, and Real Madrid played their part in it. I mean, that pass from Modric is
outside of the boot, techers.
Yeah. I mean, you said they're not getting any praise, but I've seen that gif of that like repeated over and over and over again. Benzema's getting loads of plaudits, rightly so. He's he could be Ballon d'Or contender, right? Him and Salah. De Bruyne potentially, if City do go on and win the Champions League. It's definitely not going to go to Ronaldo or Messi this year. So it's kind of all up for grabs, isn't it? Lewandowski's getting eliminated.
Now they've moved the Ballon d'Or to the year as well, rather than they've moved it to the season, have they? It was for the year, and now it's for the season. Oh, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. The Ballon d'Or has been moved. It was like January to December or September to September. I can't remember, but it's the other way round. So again, the World Cup might play a part because it's December. Benzema for France.
What do you reckon with City Madrid? John Cahill says City deal with Madrid comfortably.
Well, we saw that game in the group, didn't we? And they didn't deal with City comfortably, and they didn't deal with Madrid comfortably. But looking at the teams, how they're both playing at the moment, you've got to think City are going to be favourites. I mean, I think City win the champs this year.
There was a great tweet, which was it said Real Madrid reveal their lineup 2 hours before the game, and it's like and it's like, this will mess with overthinkers like Pep. He'll probably play Zinchenko up front or something like that.
So true. Pep's going to always Pep in the Champions League. Absolutely,
yeah. He'll do something weird, definitely. Yeah. In that. I still remember him playing. I think it was against Lyon, wasn't it, when he played De Bruyne a right wing, and it just didn't work at all, and they just got knocked out. Was it Lyon? I think it was Lyon.
Yeah, it was Lyon.
Yeah, weird game. Yeah. Stephen Gallagher, De Gea or Ramsdale this week?
I actually prefer De Gea to Ramsdale. I don't think Arsenal. I think United could keep one clean sheet. Norwich. I don't actually think I think Ramsdale's less likely to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I think you're banking on Ramsdale getting a clean sheet against Southampton, But I think Southampton put in a performance. I don't think they get blown away.
Bounce back.
I think it's a tricky game to call, and I think De Gea's got a better chance of a clean sheet against Norwich. So
no Arsenal left back.
No, I'd play De Gea. I think out of those two.
I'm probably not going to have an Arsenal or a United defender or goalkeeper in my free hit team. That's that. I don't have faith in really either.
Yeah. Summer 95 replacement for Barnes. Oh, are people selling Barnes? Yeah, I guess so. And should I bench Weghorst for Cancelo?
I'd keep Barnes. I know he got subbed at half time. I know he's a bit out of favour. But did well.
He was awful.
But he will guaranteed start one of these next 2 games. And if he does well in that game, then he might just keep his place. So I'd be reluctant to sell Barnes, knowing he's got a double in which he's guaranteed at least 1 start. He is one of the outfield players that could even start both.
Yeah.
Because he's got fresher legs.
I mean, the obvious replacement for Barnes is Maddison, but there's no way Maddison is starting both games in this double, because he looked very leggy towards the end of the game yesterday, and he's played. You know, he played at the weekend. He played the game before that. He hasn't missed any minutes. Barnes is actually quite well rested.
Quite fresh, yeah. I've had Maddison in my free hit team all week, and I've just taken him out last night because, again, I just think best case scenario, I get 120 minutes. I think you could get more than 120 out of Barnes. And look, next week you can sell Barnes if you think he is dropped, and you can go for a Chelsea or a Man City midfielder as his replacement.
Yeah. Would you play Weghorst or Cancelo?
Cancelo.
You can't bench Cancelo.
Cancelo is one of 3 single game week players in my free hit team this week. That's how highly I rate him.
Mickey Moles bought in Barnes this week. That's bold.
Interesting move in. Getting hooked at half time last night wasn't great for his chances of being first 11.
No, I mean, Rodgers literally had enough. I mean, that miss the miss. I mean, Maddison was just there screaming for it. They're lucky that they went through in that, because I mean, Maddison was the only player in the first half who looked like a good player. Like, they were all awful. Daka missed that really good chance as well. Yeah. Iheanacho played well, I thought. He's really good at dropping deep and playing a ball, kind of like the Harry Kane light version.
He can play. He's a good footballer, isn't he?
He is a very good footballer.
He's very good technically. I actually think Iheanacho should play more than he does. I think he only ever plays when there's injuries, which is a shame. I don't think Rodgers always fancies him.
Which is weird, right? Because he's always delivered. I mean, particularly the end of last season when he was brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing the end of last season, wasn't he? He was you're watching him and Vardy play together in a front 2, and he looked so good in a 2. You just think Brendan Rodgers is going to play a 2 again this season, and he just didn't. He went back to his 4-3-3.
I didn't realise he was as good as he is. You talk about his technical ability. I didn't actually know he was that good at that kind of thing until recently. Because I thought he was a bit more of a poacher, right? You get the ball to him and he's in the right areas and scores, but I doubted kind of the other elements of his game. But I think he's kind of stepped up another level this season, but still not really getting the rub of the green, which is a shame.
Do you know, you don't come out that Man City academy as a kid and break into that first team squad. How many good kids at Man City don't break into that first team squad? Well, he was one of the few that did. So you got to think, to do that, a bit like the Chelsea academy, any player that comes through that academy and gets into the 11 is going to be technically superior to most players in the Premier League. And I always say the same about Chelsea kids. Before I even see them play, I'm like, if they've made it into that squad, they are going to be technically sensational. Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's loads of them. Broja, Gallagher. I mean, you churn them out. Mounts come through the academy.
Declan Rice was even in the academy. So,
I'd love Brighton to sign Iheanacho. I mean, it's not going to happen. He's better than us. He should be playing.
That's not a bad shout, actually, because he'll want to play Premier League football week in, week out. He might like the style of management of Potter. Yeah,
give him 80 grand a year. Chuck 35 million at Leicester. Rodgers, I don't think he's a big Rodgers favourite. So
no, he's not. He's really not. He should have started way more games. I could see West Ham going for Iheanacho.
Yeah, I think he should go to a better team than us, but why not? A little cheeky bid. See if we can sway him down to the south coast. Okay, final super chat of the day. So no more of these, but thank you everyone who's been putting these in. As I said, the money's going to go to Street Child United. That's a really good idea, that, Gianni.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, because it's hard to say, like, oh, it's not for the money, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, of course it's not, blah blah blah. When there's money involved. But yeah, donating that out is an excellent idea, because I didn't think of that.
That's a great shout.
Yeah, Matthew Allen. After Arsenal results, are Brighton back on form, and have got a chance of repeating last season's results against Spurs and Man City? Yeah, interesting.
They
Brighton.
they can go toe to toe with the big clubs. They're one of the few sort of mid-table teams that can out football the kind of top six on their day. And I think we saw that against Arsenal. I think they'll win the midfield battle at times against Spurs. I really do. Like we saw Aston Villa win that midfield battle in the first half against Spurs. The difference is Spurs have the match winners that Brighton don't. And for that reason, I think Spurs win the football match. And I think Son and Kane will be heavily involved. But Brighton will have a good go. Game could have goals, you know. I could see both teams scoring, and I could see Spurs scoring 3 or 4. To be fair, like I can in any game.
Yeah, I mean Webster didn't play against Arsenal when we won, which was surprising because we've been really bad with him out. But he came on for 5 minutes at the end of the match, so he's ready now. So he's
your best centre back by a mile, isn't he, Webster?
He's our best player by a mile. I think he talk about players stepping up. He's been absolutely fantastic this year. So I think with him in the team, we're a better side, a much better side. I don't think Spurs destroy us. I know they're playing really well. I can't see them scoring. If they get 3 goals, I'd be surprised.
Really? You think 2's more likely?
I think they win. I think they win 2-0 or maybe we get a goal 2-1. I don't think they blow us out the water with 3 or 4.
Interesting.
We don't often lose, you know, by big scores. I mean, you look back. I mean, our worst result sort of this season really has been when we conceded 4 to Man City back in game week 9. We haven't conceded more than 3 goals in any other game except for Burnley in 26, which was a complete, like, no one predicted Burnley were gonna get 3 goals against that. But you know, we played Tottenham in 29, we lost 2-0, and that was when we were really bad. You know, we've played Chelsea, we haven't conceded more than 2 goals to them. You know, we played Man United, we played Liverpool. Even Liverpool couldn't score more than 2 goals against us. So yeah, I just don't think Spurs are brilliant attacking wise. And of course they could score lots, but the signs to me with Webster back tell me that Spurs don't go crazy.
Just looking at Spurs' last 7, just to counter that a little bit, in their last 7 Premier League games, 4 against Leeds, 5 against Everton, 2 against United, 2 against Brighton, 3 against West Ham, 5 against Newcastle, 4 against Villa. So they've probably been at an average of 3 goals. Yeah. They've had a few. So I didn't realise they played Brighton only in game week 29.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a 2-0 win.
That's the only game in the last 5 they haven't scored more than 3 goals in. Because they've got. I mean, 5 against Newcastle. I mean, I didn't predict that. To be fair, I thought Newcastle have really improved defensively. I wouldn't have backed them to score 5 goals in that. I'm not saying it's impossible for Spurs to score it. It's just we don't tend to get hammered by anyone. Only City. City are a team that can smash anyone, and we try and attack them.
Yeah.
I think we've got a fairly decent record against Spurs over the last couple of years as well.
I feel like Brighton this season have been better away from home as well, so it could even
be a good game anyway.
Yeah,
be a very good game. Luke Adams is going crazy in the chat about Real Madrid. God, calm down.
He's a massive fan. He is a massive fan.
He'd be devastated when Man City knocked them out comfortably. Ooh, fueling the fire. Fueling the fire. Right, thank you everyone. Gianni, thanks for joining me. Thanks for stepping in.
My pleasure, mate. I will be revealing my free hit team at some point on Saturday morning, I expect. But I'm going to be tinkering tonight big.
Weghorst in.
He's not one I'm considering. If I do go Burnley, though, I must admit I am looking at Cornet.
Yeah. Chris Wood in, though.
Chris Wood's 100% locked, mate. He's got the vice captaincy at the moment, Chris Wood.
Has he? Who are you captaining, Ronaldo? Or Fernandes?
Oh, I don't know. It's one of them. I don't know yet. I'm a little bit worried about Ronaldo getting 180 minutes, and I think I might go Bruno for that reason.
Yeah.
Bruno definitely gets 180. We know that. Ronaldo probably does as well, but it's just a safety.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, pens. I think Bruno is on pens. Am I right in thinking that? I need to check that.
I mean,
I never know.
I would say Ronaldo's on pens, like fairly comfortably, but then I would have said that early in the season, and then Fernandes missed that one, didn't he? And then Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo's on them because Fernandes missed, and then I think Ronaldo took the next one, or did Fernandes then take the next one? I can't remember.
And guys in the chat, if you know an answer to that, or just comment on the video. I really want to know the answer. I know I'll do my own research, but
let me check. Neil will know. Let me check set piece takers on Scout. United, he's got Ronaldo as penalty taker. Yeah, and I trust Neil, so. Yeah, let's go with that. Right, excellent. Gianni, enjoy your bank holiday. You're off somewhere, aren't you?
I am. I'm going
something
shopping. I'm going shopping in Leicester now
Nice.
to look at a new desk actually. So this very desk could be replaced.
Exciting.
Yeah, fun. I've been washing cars this morning.
Wow. I need to wash my car actually.
Yeah, well, I'm washing mine up to sell it. So I want to post it on Auto Trader by the end of the day if I can. So I was like, I better post it. I better wash it.
Yep. Sounds good. Right.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Load saying Ronaldo on pens. Good to know.
Oh, Let's Talk's in the chat. He says Ronaldo as well. Yeah, we trust him. Ed says Maguire. I don't think they're trusting with that. Excellent. Right, we'll stop there. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back next week. I think Sam's back next week. Hopefully she's back next week. She's off with the kids for Easter activities today. Oh, no, there won't be one next week because it's Fest next week.
Oh, yes. Of course it is.
It's Fest. Yeah, it's Fest next week. Everyone needs to get their tickets for that. Head over to FF Fest. I did a promo video.
I know you did. Kelly said it was you filming,
was
and then I listened to it back, and I can hear you going, "Go," and then press record.
Oh, really?
Or press record, then press go. But I've seen the outtakes as well as.
It's so funny when James Richardson just forgot what he was even plugging. That was my favourite bit.
She does well to put up with him, doesn't she, Kelly?
Ever the pro.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Right, thanks.